And we are very honored to have with us now Sondra London and her new attorney, Eric Block, a man who made his first appearance in this court case today in court. Welcome to you both. And Ms. London, let me ask you first, just the basic question, why do you think you should be able to make money from Danny Rolling?
Claire, I'm a journalist. Danny Rolling is the story. I was able to obtain the exclusive rights to the confessions to the Gainesville murders, and I've been working on this case since 1992. I'm still working on the case, and this is my work product. And just as you expect to be paid for your work product, Clara, so I expect to be paid for mine.
You in fact, are making money off of Danny Rolling right now by participating in this case.
But I didn't go and interview him, and I didn't become his love interest, and I didn't become engaged to him, and I didn't marry him in cyberspace. Wouldn't that be a difference?
No, that's a very, very different issue. Your question then is a journalist allowed to have a relationship with somebody about whom they write? The legal question is, does she have a right to earn money having been convicted of nothing based upon her intellectual property? It's two different matters.
It's a good distinction. Let me ask you, too, about the autographs, because you say in your motion, and as Ms. London, you and I have discussed before, Danny Rolling's autographs are not accounts of his crime. Explain your reason on why you should be able to sell Danny Rolling's autographs.
Because it's legal, and everyone else does it. And that's what I told the Attorney General in trial.
Now, we saw your new attorney with you today, Mr. Block. What happened to Mr. Vipperman? He had been with you for some time and had taken the case pro bono, not expecting to be paid. Why is he no longer involved?
I don't think it would be appropriate for me to answer that. I think if you would like that answered, Mr. Vipperman would surely be glad to tell you.
Okay, well, let me ask Mr. Block about his relationship in this case then. Mr. Block, why are you involved in this case, and what's your status? Are you taking this case pro bono?
Yes, I'm taking this case pro bono. This case has an incredible impact on journalism and free speech in the state of Florida. Basically, what it says is that a person, again, it's uncontradicted that Danny Rolling is participating in no economic remuneration in this case, nor should he. That's what the law is designed to stop. That is not going on in this case. What has happened is the state has gone one step further and now is applying the lien law to someone that it is not applicable to. Sondra London has been convicted of no crime. She is no different than any other journalist who writes a true crime book. She's no different than Ann Rule. She's no different than any of the people that have created the true crime genre, if you will, in this country, which that entire genre of literature is now in jeopardy in the state of Florida.
How much money are we talking about here?
Well, first of all, it's not really important how much money because it's the principle, and certainly that's why I'm in the case. But I think Ms. London will agree. We're not talking about huge sums of money, and isn't that the point?
Clara, the point about the money, I would like to assert that this case has been a net loss for me. When they speak of proceeds, that would be, in other words, possibly, it might mean money that comes in. It might mean the net proceeds. In this case, there are no net proceeds whatsoever. It's been a net loss for me.
Okay, well, I will grant your point that the argument is principle and it's not the amount of the money, but I'm still curious how much money the state has estimated between $15,000 and $20,000. Is that right?
Well, the evidence has been that there was $15,000 that has been procured through a series of articles that was written by the Globe. And there is a real question. There was no evidence in the trial that those proceeds were acquired through accounts of crime. So again, and that's why we asked for the stay today, because we can argue and good, reasonable people can disagree about what is meant by profits, what's meant by proceeds, what is meant by accounts of crime. Certainly our position that Danny Rolling's autograph on a bubblegum wrapper by no one's definition can be an account of crime. So the only evidence in this case is that there has been $15,000 and that money is tied up. Ms. London does not have and has not had access to it, nor will she.
Well, now, we'll use the $15,000 figure. If that money is already in a trust fund, then why would it be difficult to give the court an accounting of that?
Because, go ahead.
Because that's not what the court has requested.
Right.
They requested an accounting of every item that Danny Rolling has sent me, not only the amounts received, but a list of those items. And I'm not going to go into what those items are that will appear on the accounting when it's filed in camera, but I will mention that it goes down to such trivia as 2 locks of hair. It's hard to understand how this honorable court presumes to take something such as a lock of hair sent from a source to a journalist and express any sort of interest in it at all. The government has no right entering into the question of content in the first place, and then when Her Honor goes beyond the accounts of crime and attempts to intervene in items which are by no stretch of the imagination accounts of crime, then we've extended the reach of this to a ridiculous extent.
Well, and we don't, in all fairness, we don't know that's what's going on. That's why I said there are good faith arguments that can be made that the court may not be interested in 2 locks of hair. The point is we don't know, and we can spend weeks and weeks arguing about it, while in the state of Florida, there is no case law on this statute in this regard. This case, whether Ms. London wins, whether Ms. London loses, it will make law in the state of Florida. So why waste judicial effort coming back and arguing all of these matters when we can wait on the appeal and find out what the appellate courts have to say and get their guidance?